Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttrading-solutions.com. Hope everybody's having a good week. Yep, we are long coming in this afternoon. We're coming in long SPY, Walmart, and also BBBY. So we'll have to close those out tomorrow. Okay. And so hope everybody's doing well. Yeah. All in all, really, the S&P is rallying hard today, but still, if you really look at the charts, since last time we were together, that 39.40, 39 support area is basically still intact. And we're just essentially trading up to the top end of the range. And so we'll have to see if we can get some follow through tomorrow going into the seasonal. So the seasonality is kicking in that I've been talking about. I wrote about it over the weekend. The kind of Thanksgiving U.S. holiday positive seasonality. So we'll see how tomorrow we also have Fed minutes coming in, with the thinner market. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can get some follow through to the upside. The first level on the S&P to look at, by the way, is the 40, let's call it 40.50 high from last week. So, we still, again, all told, we still are kind of range trading. Okay. And until we get above 40.50, I don't see really a whole lot changing. Today's rally was pretty impressive, but again, it's all contained inside the same ranges. So that's really where we're coming in at this afternoon. Now we did buy, we were long some 394 calls in the SPY, which are doing really well for us. We'll probably close those out tomorrow. They do expire tomorrow. And we also bought some Best Buy calls. We did actually in front of the earnings yesterday. So those are working out pretty well. And then we're still long the Walmarts, which we got to get out of. That's kind of stalling out today. So Walmart did stall out a little bit at 52, looking for a 155 target on that. That's really where we're at. Now, NASDAQ's held the 11,550 support, which is very discernible on the charts. If you look at your 4-hour, 5-hour charts, you can clearly see that held right along there. That seemed to be that was the breakout point from back in September, and still lagging big time. We got to get there. We're not even close to those highs from last week. So first things first, you got to get through this 11,825 area on the NASDAQ. Again, overall, not a lot changing. All the rally today was in the S&P, and coming into the holiday, that's usually bullish. And in addition, the VIX. So I actually just got done talking to my members. The VIX is now ready to drop below 20, which really, if you think about it, I've been talking about this. I write about this in my newsletter. By the way, if you guys want to get my newsletter or spend 5 days with me in our morning sessions, go ahead and, there's a link below. You can sign up for that, especially now that we come into the holidays. If you're having a challenge with what you're doing and trading and whatever, it's free, so you can kind of give us a try and see what we do for 5 days. So make sure you avail yourself of that if you're so inclined. Okay. But I would just say, now that we're coming into the VIX below 20, just to reiterate what I've been talking about, anytime you got the VIX under 20 this year, usually portends a peak in the markets, right? So we got to be very careful now, especially if we continue to rally hard here, and then we get the VIX in the teens. In fact, I'm going to start positioning some of my members that have some portfolios. We're going to start hedging off, and in fact, I would be looking more aggressively at shorting some stock, maybe even more aggressively in shorting the S&P or the Nasdaq or whatever as we go higher and higher. And as everybody begins now to turn bullish, that's the other thing I'm going to look for. Yep. Hey, how you doing, JT? So now we still could have a little bit more upside. Now next month is going to be great in terms of volatility. Why? Because once we get through this week in the holiday and Thanksgiving. By the way, thanks. I want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving in the next couple of days for you guys in the U.S. Yeah, next month is going to be great. We've got non-farm payrolls, we got CPI, we got the last Fed meeting, so it's going to be really great. I'm really looking forward to next month, and I think there's going to be tons of opportunity. Again, coming into this week, we're having a really good week again. Coming in long SPY, long BBY from earnings, and then Walmart. So all in all, we're doing pretty good. Again, no guarantees and no past performance and all that good stuff, right? So, anyways, now just to kind of sum it up on the averages, still largely range trading. Even today's rally, again, even though it seems impressive, again, pull up your S&P chart, pull up your Nasdaq chart. Don't get overly excited. Yes, if you're long, you got to obviously you had a good day, especially the Nasdaq, still big time laggard. Also, to kind of dovetail bonds, right? So I'm trying to get long TLT, still can't get a pullback to get long. And you can see it's almost also the same thing. You got 127 on the 30-year. The 10-year is actually now in a smaller channel here between 112 and let's call it 112.22. So again, nothing to get super excited about. The only thing that's constructive is that we continue to hang on to the gains, the bond market, right? The 10-year continues to hang on to the, let's call it the CPI burst is what I've been calling it, right? If you look at that 10-year, you saw, I mean, and that's you can see that across all the bonds and stocks and whatever that CPI burst, if you call it. So we are able to hang on to that. That is going to be critical coming in, after this week, that 112 on the 10-year. So you can see it actually did find some support there where it needed to. But again, nothing to get really super excited about on the bond market, just very, very choppy trading. Similarly, the dollar did come off that 107.83. I think I mentioned that to you guys last time I was here on Friday. That 107.83, 108.47. If you look at your chart on a 4-hour or 2-hour, you can clearly see that. And we did come off. We are starting to see a little bit of pressure. We were long gold coming in this morning, and then just kind of meanders about. Not a whole lot going on there. We actually exited that position. I'm going to look to something else because clearly gold is just kind of just stuck in the mud. So we were up a little bit on that. We got in at we got in at where was that? Let's see. On gold, we entered 1739.90. Yep. Yeah, right, Noah. Yeah, so you can see, but all in all, still not a lot of movement and kind of in no man's land, really. If you take a look at your gold chart, you can see we had made that low at 105.33. We kind of rallied a little bit. So and then we kind of chopped around. So I think all in all, we're still kind of in no man's land in the dollar. And I mentioned last time we were together the 100 level. I think eventually we get there, but I think now we're going to get into a situation where I think we're going to just kind of kind of gyrate back and forth, probably between 105 and 108, I would suspect. And so it's been really, I mean, if you guys have been out there trying to trade if you guys have been out there trying to trade currency futures or the metals, it's going to be okay. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. Okay. All right. Whole lot of hovering around certain prices. Tough. Yeah, Noah. Yeah, it's been part of the reason why part of the reason why I've been kind of more focused on the options market recently is because, again, I've been encouraging. You guys have heard me. I've been encouraging people to learn about options and just kind of not be one dimensional. So if you guys are interested in something like that, I mean, go check out what we're doing in our morning sessions for 5 days free. What I typically do is I spend the first 45 minutes kind of looking at futures, and then as soon as the market opens, we shift over to stocks and options, and kind of check out what we're doing on that front. And especially most of our profits actually have been coming from options recently. We're up almost we're up pretty nicely. We had a really nice week last week with again some spike. So anyways, all right, so yeah, the only again, if you just go, you can just literally go through all the currencies, and you can see the same kind of choppy, rangy, very tight ranges and so forth. The only currency I'm kind of interested, I have to tell you, right now, is the yen, right? Oh, good, Noah. Well, I run a bunch of classes, so if you're interested, ping me on my website. Go to support, and then maybe we can hook you up on that. Okay, so that we can get you going on that as well. Yep. Uh, yeah. The only currency I'm interested in is the yen. And part of the reason I'm interested in the yen is because it's got the best setup. It's going to be a long, and if the dollar continues on its path down, I think the yen is really set up for a really strong move. Now, just like all the rest of the currencies, it's been kind of chopping around in here between let's say 1,070 and a half, 70 58 to about, I don't know, 73,007,300. Okay. But there's some levels right below that really look good to me. So we're looking at that. Also in the metals, I'm looking at copper. I think I've been talking about copper. We missed the short up around $4 a pound, and then but we're coming into some really attractive levels on the lower end of the curve here, about 3.5 on copper. So that would be another situation that I'm looking at. And then oil was all over the place. As you guys know, I talked about oil coming down into that 73. I actually wrote about it over the weekend. Came up shy. It was plummeting yesterday, and then some article, I think some article on the Wall Street Journal was talking about the Saudis opening up the spigot or whatever. And then what happened is midday, they dispelled that article, came out and said, no, we are going to, in fact, cut production, blah, blah, blah. And that's what, if you look at your chart of oil, you can see that big spike reversal, right? You can see that huge reversal off the 75 on the Jan contract. And now we're kind of just pulling back off the 80, 82. Okay. So we'll see if I'm still really bullish on oil long term. I still believe that we're probably going to head down into the low 70s. So I'm going to hold out for that. Okay. So the low 70s is really that 72 level that I mentioned on my newsletter this weekend. I think that's still a good level. In fact, probably going to look to buy USO and futures for kind of a swing trade. Okay. But, right now, just to, I talked about this the other day. Oil seems to be like a China story, more or less, right? So anytime China locks down, they China and OPEC really driving the price, really sensitive right now to all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. After this big reversal off 75, sitting at 82, we're kind of in no man's land. I think if we do rally, we probably go all the way back into the high 80s, 90s. But we'll see what happens here in the last few days. We have inventory numbers tomorrow, by the way, in the energy patch, right? So we'll see. And then nat gas, you guys know I've been fairly bullish on nat gas. Finally broke above 650. I still believe we're in a big, massive range. 730 is really where we got to get above. With the cold weather coming into the east. And so on and so forth. So we'll see if we can break. If we break above 730 and million BTU, you look at your chart, you can clearly see that on your charts. Big resistance level there. Then I think we got a shot all the way back up into the nines, right? Like we made round trip it again. It's already been twice this year where we rallied up to 9.5, came all the way back down to 6. We've already done that twice. No reason why we can't do that again. Okay. And then really on the grains, not a lot. I'm actually looking to get long wheat on the March contract. If you look at your March contract, there's a really good level down below the $8 mark, $8 a bushel. You'll clearly see that on your charts. It's a rally-based rally in the 788 level. Okay. And other than that, really, that kind of sums it up here. So to wrap it up, I'm going to get out of here early. To wrap it up, everybody, again, seasonal still strong coming into Thanksgiving. We got the VIX. So these are kind of the salient points I want to stress to everybody. You've got still some strong seasonals. You got Fed minutes tomorrow. You got energy inventories. Whether we continue this rally at least into Thanksgiving, because remember, I've been talking about this. So the kind of seasonality kicks in a little bit. So maybe we get some further upside here tomorrow, and then next week we have a shortened. Trading week on shortened trading day on Friday. So futures and the New York Stock Exchange will be open, but they close early, right? 10 Pacific, 1 Eastern, I believe. So it's going to be a shortened, abbreviated trading day. We do have futures. One last thing. We do have futures trading in on Thanksgiving morning. They close early and then they reopen on Thanksgiving afternoon, by the way. So for you futures traders, yeah, there will be a futures markets, just not midday. Europe closes, they close down futures, and then, you get the afternoon session going into Friday, and then, you got an abbreviated trading day on Friday. I won't be here on Friday for you guys, right? I'm going to be gone, but I will see you next Tuesday. Other than that, everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time off. If you're going to have some time off, enjoy the time off. Get some time to relax, regroup, re-energize, reflect, right? And I'll see you guys next Tuesday, okay? Take care, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Talk to you soon.